Hey, look, Jeff and Z Money ain't go to heaven on my dead grandma. They went somewhere. Ooh, hey, I don't even want to tell you where they went. I ain't gonna lie. My homies can't go to heaven on my dead grandma. We did too much to go to heaven. Nigga. I know where my brother went. I know where my brother at. My brother, he 50 miles away. He fucked 50 miles. He 50,000 miles away from heaven. On my dead grandma. We don't go to heaven, nigga. I still love God, but we don't go to heaven, folks. I know where I'm going.
What down, family? It's your boy SCNTV coming back at y'all with the first Chiraq Street Legend Squad edition in a very long time. This episode is going to be about none other than the Bloodhound. Now, the Bloodhounds are more like an alliance than a set, meaning it has many different sets within it. So to specify one set from another is irrelevant in this case. They're located on 79th and Maryland. They beef with A-Tray Mob.
On Monster, Shorty was a problem, but he didn't do shit to A-Tray UFOE. On Dre, all that. Who was he fucking up? He definitely was fucking up goofies. He was putting goofies on that shit. He ain't nobody from A-Tray.
He definitely was. We give Shorty his credit when his credit is due, gang. He definitely do shit to us, gang.
Gucci, you got niggas on this bitch on the fake page.
Shit to lame niggas, gang. Stop playing. You say fuck, man. We don't give a look. Everybody say gang. That shit don't. Oh my god.
Who don't be on they block on my brother grave. Like you the same nigga who don't be on they block. Fuck is you talking about?
He say, but Vert got something on y'all side. Man, we not finna. This the police or something?
Talking about Vert out of anybody?
He's a stink. He's a stink himself.
9-5 Mob, TYMB, Risky Road, YFG, but their main beef is with Trap City.
But we already know Trap City and Drill City was the same shit. Bucky and Water, like that's our family.
In a city where the blocks breathe history and the alleys whisper names of the lost, there once stood a kingdom, a wild coalition known as Lion City. Before the switch-ups, before the setups, before the back doors, they was one. A-Tray Mob, Wiz City, Evans Mob, Hit Squad, Mix Mob, and Drill City, all clicked up like Voltron. But in Chicago, power don't last forever. Loyalty get tested, money slow up, and the streets always got a new villain. Back in the 90s, when Larry Hoover still had pull from behind the wall, the GD Nation was structured. Paxtown and Lion City was heavy hitters. D.A. Smart even said it on wax. GDs and BDs running Paxtown and Lion City.
But GDs and BDs are running Paxtown and Lion City.
That wasn't just rap, that was declaration. Lion City was different. Not just one set, but a coalition. You had A-Tray Mob, Wiz City, Evans Mob, Hit Squad, Mix Mob, and Drill City. All moving like one. They wasn't BDs or GDs. They was Lion City first. Bloodhounds was the muscle, the hitters that made sure disrespect got handled. Fast. They ran drills and dropped bags when the cash was flowing. Most of their structure mimicked the old heads. Chief, Don, Enforcer. Until the new school started feeling like they ain't owe the streets nothing. The Bloodhounds was a set that put in the most pain. They wasn't the biggest crew out of the line, but they was feared. Word was, you cross the Bloodhounds, you might not make it to breakfast. Some say they got the name from how they hunted. Quiet, calculated. But once they got your scent, it was over. They held turf around the Evans Mob / A-Tray blocks, and many of the older G's would send shorties to Bloodhounds when they needed training. That mean drills, sticks, and silence. They ain't play. When line was strong, the Hounds was respected, but when shit started falling apart, they got caught between the smoke. Everything flipped late 2000s, word hit the blocks, somebody lined up the Chiefs. Whispers turned to truth. BDs from Bar None, Drill City, and Wiz City allegedly backdoored some of the top dogs. That move, it shook the whole alliance. Wiz City, once one of the front lines, got labeled brain dead. After that, it was curtains for Lion City. Wiz City dipped out, claiming they was their own thing now. Drill City followed, and the GDs, they wasn't rocking with none of it. See, the GDs still honored the Chiefs that got set up, so they slid out too, formed A-Tray, Evans Mob, Hit Squad, and stood on that. In the wreckage of all the Betrayal came Mix Mob. Mixed Mob was like the street orphans, the last ones that left, ain't want to pick a side. At first, they tried to keep it cordial with the GDs, but slowly they leaned toward Drill City, especially after they started opping with TMB. That's where the dominoes started really falling. TYMB was at war with Drill City, so when Wiz City linked with TYMB, it made Drill City and Wiz City straight up enemies. Then Mixed Mob inherited Drill City's GD beef, even though they used to be cool with A-Trey and them. Loyalty got blurry, and in Chicago when loyalty get blurry, bodies drop. Once alliances broke, the murder spiked. Drill City and Mixed Mob went at it with A-Trey and Evans Mob. Blood Hounds, they got caught in the middle. Some stayed loyal to the OGs, others folded into new sets. Names like Lil Ted, Stoney from Evans, BD Rico, Hondo from Hit Squad, Freaky from Mix, and Big Dre from Drill all had history tied into line. Drill music fueled the flames. This is on track like Dead Guys, Switch Season, and Mob Ties became declarations of war. Blood got spilled on blocks that once held unity. It was all out war, and there was no OG structure left to stop it. By 2012, Lion City was just a memory. The name still ring bells for the old heads, and if you look deep into a few of the youngest rap lyrics, they'll throw it in as a nod to the roots. But the structure, dead. TYMB, 051, Front Street, STL, NLMB, and others filled the power vacuum. Blood Hounds, some locked up, some dead, some quiet in the shadows. The streets don't do reunions. And once that money stopped coming in like the 90s, these sets started moving on principles of pride, not paper. And when that happened, politics break, gangs shatter, real ones get left behind. Every empire got bosses that play the shadows. In Blood Hounds, that's Swerve, Derm, and Tayski. These three blood brothers built the Hounds from structure. They ain't do the clout chasing. They wasn't rapping or flashing online. But don't get it twisted. They had the bag, from the J's to the blocks. If money moved through the east side, one of their plays was involved. Swerve was the strategist. Derm handled the business, and Tayski was the enforcer. Ask anybody from the east side, the Hounds ate because them three kept the streets in check. But when the internet baby started catching bodies for fun, the game changed. The youngin' who wasn't supposed to lead, but did anyway. Jeff had charisma, he had motion, but he also had a temper and an ego that couldn't fit in no room. The streets say Jeff kicked off the war that changed everything. He borrowed stock on the bad Carter's chain, and then didn't want to return it. He acted like he got robbed for it. That move led to Z Money getting killed by Lil Cap. And once Z Money dropped, the war was on.
So that chain incident really split it up? Or was it something else before then?
It was chain, really. It was chain, man. They tried to steal a chain. He ain't take it. No, I ain't trying to blemish his image. You know what I'm saying? He did
I
not
just
take
feel like
that chain, bro.
When it came to like when you
And Jeff ain't back down though. If anything, he doubled down. Lil Jeff wasn't just talking, he was stepping. He killed Trap City Leal, slid on him himself. He also put Monti and Lil Rob in the dirt after Monti stole his watch. Whole time, T Slick ended up catching the case for it. Police had him pinned, and everybody knew that Jeff was with him on the hit. Only reason Jeff ain't get charged, cause he got killed first. Big Rob from over by Trap City caught Jeff trying to slide and took him out before the law could. That hit, it sent shockwaves through the Hound. After Jeff died, the block ain't get quieter, it got louder. Lil Scoom, another young savage, was one of the last riders for Jeff's legacy until Risky Road took him out months later. Names like Rell Vert, Q50, JB Binladen, Hothead, and Slimeto would inevitably keep the Blood Hounds relevant. Some with their music and some with their motion in the streets. Q50 and Rell kind of both took Jeff's spot. They became very hot and got very popular with the music. Hothead, his name speaks for itself. Unpredictable and always ready for war. He ended up catching the case while on parole. Hothead was known in the Hounds as one of the youngest loose cannons. Erratic, fearless, and always quick to uphold. But what happened in February 2024 showed just how far gone he was. According to CPD and court filings, Hothead was already on parole for armed robbery, a 2-time convicted gun offender. But that ain't stopped nothing. On East 87th, in a car with a lean dealer named Deshaun Williams, things went left. A customer trying to buy syrup decided the deal was shady. He backed out. That's when Williams snatched the man's chain and ran. The victim chased him, ran up on the house, but Hothead was waiting inside of a fence. What happened next was straight war zone. Hothead allegedly came out busting, 13 shots at close range, hitting the man in the chest, back, legs, and torso. When police came down on him, they found a yellow bag tossed on the roof with the same gun used in the shooting, a bunch of weed, and heavy meds inside. The same night, Deshaun was caught with a loaded pistol, 40 ounces of lean, and oxycodone pills. The case was wild. Cops said they had to hunt Floyd down for 2 whole weeks before they finally picked him up on a parole warrant, and when they caught him, it was at his own crib. Hothead wasn't just another youngin' in the mix. He was proof that the generation of Hounds ain't moved with rules. He wasn't chasing a name. He was the name people feared. But just like Lil Jeff, when you crash out too fast, the only legacy left behind is chalk and charges. These days, these YNs are hard to control. The streets went from structure to straight reckless. Old heads didn't really want no war with Trap City or Risky Road. But the damage was done, and the youth, they ain't care about structure no more. And I think that what we can learn from this episode of CSL Squad Editions is this. The Blood Hounds was built on discipline, on family, on order, but the game shifted, and when the next generation came through, they wasn't trying to protect the throne, they was trying to burn it down. Swerve, Derm, and Tayski laid the blueprint, but without unity, blueprints get torn up. Lil Jeff died a young legend of some, a liability to others. The Hounds still exist, but they ain't what they once was. To the shorties watching this, don't let clout rush your coffin. There's no honor in dying behind a chain. And in Chicago, being remembered don't always mean being respected.